He is known for his 17th-century pre-Adamite hypothesis, challenging traditional understandings of human descent. He is recognized for his advocacy of a Jewish return to Palestine, anticipating Zionism. He moved in prominent circles, associated with the Prince of Condé and the abdicated Queen Christina of Sweden. His name is Isaac La Peyrère. Isaac La Peyrère, an enigmatic figure of the 17th century, left an indelible mark on the world of theology, philosophy, and race theory. Born into a Huguenot family, La Peyrère showed early promise as a theologian and lawyer. However, it was his groundbreaking pre-Adamite hypothesis that would propel him into the realm of controversy and challenge traditional beliefs. In his seminal work, La Peyrère posited that there were multiple human races, each with their own separate origins. This theory, known as polygenism, directly contradicted the prevailing belief in the unity of all human beings as descendants of Adam and Eve. La Peyrére's audacious hypothesis shook the foundations of traditional Abrahamic understandings and sparked fierce debate among theologians and scholars of his time. But it was not just his controversial racial theories that set La Peyrère apart. He also had a unique perspective on the Jewish people and their connection to the land of Palestine. Anticipating Zionism long before its time, La Peyrère advocated for a Jewish return to their ancestral homeland, intertwining this belief with his premillennialist messianic theology. Throughout his life, La Peyrère moved in influential circles, counting the Prince of Condé and the abdicated Queen Christina of Sweden among his acquaintances. However, his unorthodox views and connections eventually led to pressure to renounce his beliefs. In a surprising turn of events, La Peyrère publicly converted to Catholicism towards the end of his life, although the sincerity of this conversion has been called into question. Isaac La Peyrère's legacy is one of intellectual daring and unconventional thinking. His pre-Adamite hypothesis and advocacy for a Jewish return to Palestine challenged established norms and forced society to confront uncomfortable truths. Though his theories may have been met with resistance during his lifetime, La Peyrère's ideas continue to shape the fields of theology, philosophy, and race theory to this day. Isaac La Peyrère, sometimes known as Péréreus, was born into a prominent family in Bordeaux, France. His father, Bernard La Peyrère, served as the private secretary to Jacques II de Goyon de Matignon, Maréchal de France. On his mother's side, his grandfather held the esteemed position of general treasurer to the royal house of Navarre. Raised in a Calvinist household, La Peyrère's family background sparked speculation about their potential Jewish heritage. Growing up, La Peyrère developed a passion for law and pursued it as his chosen profession. He honed his skills as a lawyer, using his intellect and analytical thinking to navigate the complex legal landscape of his time. However, there was more to La Peyrère than just his legal expertise. Amidst discussions about his ancestry, Richard Popkin put forth evidence suggesting that La Peyrère may have had Marrano, or secret Jewish, roots on his mother's side. While the exact truth about his Jewish heritage remains a subject of debate, it adds an intriguing layer to La Peyrère's story. La Peyrère's background, with its mix of Calvinism and potential Jewish ancestry, shaped his perspective on philosophy and religion. His unique experiences and intellectual curiosity led him to explore profound questions about divinity and the nature of existence. These inquiries would eventually lead him to develop a philosophy that challenged established beliefs of his time. Isaac La Peyrère, a philosopher and theologian of the 17th century, had a unique encounter that would shape his beliefs and influence his philosophy. Serving as the secretary to the Prince of Condé, he found himself living in a house adjacent to the recently abdicated Queen Christina of Sweden in the southern Netherlands. Little did he know that this encounter would ignite a series of events that would challenge his understanding of divinity and the world. During his time in the Netherlands, La Peyrère had the opportunity to meet Manasseh ben Israel, a Jewish scholar who would later be invited to England by Oliver Cromwell's government to negotiate the readmission of Jews to the country. It was in these conversations with Manasseh that La Peyrère's beliefs began to take shape. He became convinced that the coming of the Jewish Messiah was imminent and that the Messiah would join forces with the King of France to liberate the Holy Land, rebuild the Temple, and establish a world government. What La Peyrère envisioned was a theological political world state, where the Catholic King of France would be overthrown, and a new order would be established. This vision aligned with the negotiations taking place between Condé, Cromwell, and Christina, who were seeking to create a world state with far-reaching implications. In the midst of these discussions, La Peyrère made a profound statement: "My life will recur in exactly identical fashion." This statement reflected his belief in the cyclical nature of existence, where events would repeat themselves in an identical manner. It was a philosophy that challenged traditional notions of linear time and offered a new perspective on life's patterns. La Peyrère's encounter with Christina and his discussions with Manasseh ben Israel had a profound impact on his philosophy. His belief in the cyclical nature of life and the imminent arrival of the Messiah shaped his understanding of divinity and the world. Although his beliefs may seem unconventional, they remind us to consider alternative perspectives and challenge the status quo in our daily lives. Isaac Le Peyrère, a philosopher and theologian of the 17th century, proposed a radical hypothesis that challenged traditional beliefs about human origins. In his work, Pre-Adamity, he argued that there must have been a world before Adam, a world populated by pre-Adamites. Le Peyrère believed that if Adam sinned, there must have been a law according to which he sinned, suggesting the existence of a lawless world before Adam. According to Le Peyrère, there were two creations: first, the creation of the Gentiles, and then the creation of Adam, who became the father of the Jews. This interpretation of human origins provided an explanation for Cain's life after he murdered his brother Abel in the biblical account. Cain took a wife and built a city, actions that seemed impossible if there were only Adam and his immediate family. Le Peyrère's theory of pre-Adamites also aimed to explain the diversity of human races. He believed that the existence of different racial groups, such as Negroes, Chinese, Eskimos, American Indians, and Malays, could be accounted for by the polygenesis of the Gentiles. This idea gained traction in 19th century Europe, particularly among those who sought to demonstrate the inferiority of non-Western peoples. However, Le Peyrère's theory also had darker implications. In the United States, proponents of racial theories rejected the notion that non-whites were descendants of Adam. Figures like Charles Caldwell, Josiah C. Nott, and Samuel G. Morton combined Le Peyrère's pre-Adamaism with cranial measurements, constructing a theory of racial difference that justified slavery. Isaac Le Peyrère's philosophy challenged traditional views on human origins and race. While his ideas were embraced by those seeking to justify racism, they also sparked important discussions about the diversity of human beings and our shared history. Today, Le Peyrère's hypothesis serves as a reminder that our understanding of ourselves and the world around us is constantly evolving, and that we must critically examine the theories and beliefs we hold to ensure a more inclusive and just society.
Do you want to explore more philosophers? Who do you want to see featured next? Subscribe and leave a comment below to let me know. I'll see you in the next video.